And above all, you're giving more than you're expecting to receive. Solving people's problem, answering question. It's one of the most effective way to find a concentrated niche of people that you're gunning for to be your audience. It's in Facebook groups. 6 years ago, I took my teaching skills online, and now I make multiple six figures in annual revenue, teaching piano to students worldwide while working less than 8 hours a day. My name is Warren McPherson, the founder and CEO of PianoLessonWithWarren.com. And if you want to learn how I broke free from the 9-to-5 piano studio teaching, the late nights and weekend gigging schedule, you came to the right place. At the Business for Musicians podcast, I'll share tips, strategies, and tools to help you break free from the trading time for money hamster wheel so you too can build a profitable online business while working fewer hours and from the comfort of your home. Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 2 of the Business for Musicians podcast, where we talk about and share information on how musicians can transition into teaching online and selling courses online and just making money online. Because once you get into the online space, you realize that there is more than one way to make money outside of courses. And this is something I've been doing successfully for the last 6 years. And so that's what inspired me to start this podcast. This is episode 2, and today we're going to be talking about growing your online audience, your followers. One of the reasons a lot of people fail online is because they go right to the money-making scheme, right? I want to sell courses. I want to do this. I want to set up a website. What tools should I get? What hosting company should I go with? They're thinking about the business, creating the business before they have someone to sell it to. That's your audience. Your audience is your most valuable asset. Without an audience, you don't have a business. And that's why you see so many people put so much time into growing their online platforms. Before you can begin to monetize that audience, monetize your teaching skills, you have to have an audience that is ready and hungry to learn from you and be willing to open their wallet to do so. So today, for the episode 2, I'm going to share 6 steps with you that I have been using for the past 6 years that I find successful in growing your online audience across multiple platforms. The first one is content creation. You just have to start. You can't build a business until you start. And the first place you want to start is to harvest that audience. Think about it like a farmer. Before a farmer can start harvesting all these amazing fruits and plants and vegetables, they first have to work the soil. You got to put time into working the soil, preparing the soil, planting your seed, and then you have to wait. Depending on the type of plant or fruit, some takes longer than others. But you have to put in the work, and then you have to wait, and then you reap the benefit. Building an online audience is similar. My YouTube channel has over 200,000 subscribers, but I've been working and tilling that soil. It's pretty much started in 2014, but really took it serious in 2016. Right? So that's how long I've been at it to grow this size audience. Now, you don't need a large audience before you can start making money online, but you need an audience. And this is where we're going to start. Start creating content. What is it that you want to share with the world? It's important for you to pick one thing. And this is where I sort of went wrong in the beginning. I teach piano. I can play multiple styles of music. I could play some jazz. I'm classically trained. I could play reggae. I could play some blues. I could play gospel. I could play all these different, rock. I can learn any different style of music and I can play. And so when I started online, I said, I'm just going to teach everything, whatever style you want to learn. But then I quickly realized through my studies and learning new things and watching other channels, and that's an important thing we're going to talk about. I realized that I needed to focus on one thing. And one of the things I learned is that Your channel needs to be formatted in a way so that it's like you're talking to a single person. You don't want to be talking to too many different people. This is what they call niching. And in future episodes, I'll talk more about that. But your niche or your niche, based on how you pronounce it, is, for example, jazz people. People who are interested in jazz music, that's one niche. People who are interested in the top, 100 pop songs, that's one niche. People who are interested in more old-time songs, that's one niche. People who are interested in classical piano, that's one niche. And so I didn't know that. So by trying to teach all these different styles, I was trying to talk to too many different people or too many different audience. And so when people start making requests in all these different audience, it starts to get overwhelming. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to be authentic if you're trying to talk to too different people. And so that's why eventually I niched down to only teaching gospel music, but only teaching gospel music by ear, right? Ear. I niched down. Think about it as a funnel. And you're trying to go all the way down to find that core thing. And those are the people you talk to. So I started with piano lessons. And then below the piano lesson, I niche it down to gospel piano. And then below that, I niche it down to only playing by ear. So people who want to learn notation and all of that, I don't teach any of that. And that's a strategic move I made. Are you alienating people by doing that? Absolutely. But that's necessary. You need to attract certain group of people and repel others. That's how you find your core audience. Don't try to serve too many people. Think about the thing that you could get up and do every day forever. Make that your niche. Why it's important? Because this is a marathon we're taking on. And so you want to be able to do that consistently. So along the line of starting your content, it's important to also pick a platform. Everybody sort of have a main platform that they work from. The goal is to be on as many platforms as possible, but it's good to have a sort of a core platform. For me, that was YouTube, because I'm teaching piano lessons. There's a visual element and component to what I'm doing. And at the time, YouTube was the best platform for video. So that's why I chose video. A lot of platforms now have incorporated video, but YouTube, I believe, is still the main thing. So pick a platform that you believe works well for the type of content that you'll be doing and run with that. I am doing podcast for this specific venture, Business for Musician, because there is no visual element. It's just me dispensing information and knowledge through audio. And so I made podcast the more central core of this, so people can consume it while they're doing other chores, through podcast. Yes, there is a YouTube component to this because I'm recording video as well, but podcast is the primary source, the primary platform for this venture. So pick a platform that's going to work best for the way you want to deliver the information you're going to be sharing with your audience. So that's step number one. Step number two is to be consistent. There's an old saying, consistency is king. Think about the tortoise and the hare. It's not about speed. It's about consistent. And if you can be consistent, you will outperform everybody, right? Consistency is king. And the reason why this is important for building an audience, think about it like a TV show. If a new TV show comes out, you dive into episode 1, you really love the show, you like it. Episode 2 comes out, it's great. Episode 3 comes out, it's even better. And then nothing. The following week, crickets. You're waiting for the episode, nothing. You do some search online, what happened to episode 4? There's nothing telling you about episode 4. They just pretty much ghosted you. How would you feel? You'd probably unfollow or just move on to another show, right? Now, it's the same thing with building an online audience. You have to treat your content like a show. And so you have to be consistent. consistent. It is important to release content at a sort of a regular and predictable interval. At minimum, the recommendation is that you post once a week. So if you're posting a YouTube video, you could say YouTube video coming out every Tuesday morning at 7. And come hell or high water, you try to make sure that every week, every Tuesday at 7, you have a new video coming out. That's how you build loyalty. That's how you build momentum. That's how you get your viewers to start coming back at a predictable interval, because they know, oh, there's a video coming out from Warren this Tuesday morning at 7. Now life happens, and so you might not always able to meet that Tuesday morning schedule. Try to see if you can get that video out or that audio out the next day, right? For me, my YouTube schedule has been Wednesdays for the longest time. But there's sometimes I post on Thursdays or even Fridays. Why? Life happens. But the important thing is I'm consistent. People can always come to my channel week after week and see something new. So while it's important to see if you can keep a consistent day, especially if it's a new channel, it's even more important to make sure that if you miss that day, you still get something out that week. The other side of why this is important is the algorithm. Social media runs on this powerful AI called the algorithm, right? And the algorithm favors consistency. And what is this algorithm? It's basically showing your content to people who will most likely watch your videos. And so the algorithm is designed to show people who are being consistent, constantly uploading to the platform. Because remember, at the end of the day, the people behind these platforms, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, their job is to keep you on these platforms. And so the algorithm is designed to keep you there. So they're going to favor content creators who are doing that job of keeping people on the platforms. So if you're posting consistently week after week after week, the algorithm is going to notice that. And then it's going to start feeding your content to people who are most likely interested in what you're offering. And that's how you start to get views, likes, share. And again, because you're being consistent at a predictable interval with your posting, these people will keep coming back. And that's how you start to grow. This is one of the biggest reasons a lot of people fail online. They fade out after a few episodes. I did the same thing. Back in 2014, when I started my channel, I posted like 3 to 4 videos, and then I just disappeared for the next 2 years. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a goal. I didn't even know I was building an audience. I was just doing it for fun. But I always look back and said, had I not stopped, my channel probably would have been twice the size it is now. Twice the size, or even, 100,000 more subscribers. Because that's 2 years of growth and content I missed out on. 2 years I ghosted the algorithm and paid the price for it. But I was able to come back and resurrect the channel because I was consistent. Since 2016, I've posted a video every week since then. And we'll talk more about the different types of content and how to keep that content machine going. Because it gets tricky and you feel like you're running out of ideas. So there are things we have done over the years that helps to keep those ideas fresh. But this is the biggest one. Content consistency is king. Now, step number 3 is to listen and respond to your viewers. Once you start to get some tractions, a subscriber here, a subscriber there, like, share, comments. Those are the most important thing. When someone leaves you a comment, you need to respond. Even if it's with just a thank you, or I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. In the early days, I would spend sometimes an hour responding to comments. That's when my channel really started to grow, and I have a couple thousand subscribers. I responded to every comments. Now, I may not respond to every comment, but I make sure I like every comment. I like, and I give it a little heart. So they know that I see the comments. I'm acknowledging them. I see you. Those little things go a long way with viewers in building loyalty, right? And that's what you want, some form of loyalty and connection. So eventually you can monetize these people. So if people are commenting and liking your videos and they're not hearing from you, that leaves them with a bad taste in their mouth, right? Is he really interested in us? Does he want to connect with us? You don't want your viewers thinking those things. So as soon as your viewer starts to respond to your content, you got to jump in and talk with them. If they ask a question, answer it, right? It's going to, as a channel starts to grow, that part start to become a little bit time consuming, but it is important. Trust me. Again, we're farmers, right? We're tilling and we're building. We're we're sort of preparing the soil and all of these things before we can see these fruit trees starts to grow. We cannot ignore this part of the process. You got to connect with your viewers as soon as they start to connect with you. Tip number 4 is to be visible on more than one platforms. When I started back in 2014, as I mentioned, YouTube was sort of the thing. If you're doing anything video related, YouTube was it. Facebook had a video platform, but nobody really go to Facebook to consume video content. It has changed over the years, but back then, if you wanted something video, you go to YouTube. The other reason why YouTube still remains one of the most powerful video platforms is because YouTube is owned by Google. Google is a search engine. So when you put in a search prompt in Google, it's also going to feed you YouTube videos that are relevant to your search. And so that's another way to get a lot of traffic and to stay in the YouTube algorithm and the search, results. But things have evolved over the years. And now we got Instagram, which is a strong video platform as well. We got TikTok, and YouTube and Facebook has become another giant video platforms. And so right now in 2023, my recommendation is that if you want to build a business online and build an audience, you need to be on YouTube, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be on Facebook, and you need to be on Instagram. These are the main 4. There are other social media platforms out there like Twitter and LinkedIn, which is more business oriented. But these 4, that's where it's at. It may change because, as we know, the online world moves fast. But like with this podcast, I'm already on all 4 platforms. And so when we talk about to be visible on all platforms, that means you also have to tailor your content for the platform. Now, YouTube has always been traditionally long form videos, which means you can post a video of you teaching something or demonstrating something that is 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes long. And people actually sit and watch that stuff. And they'll also come back and watch it in portions. That's what we call long form content, longer videos. Facebook also does long form content. So what I usually do when I shoot a YouTube video, I upload it to YouTube, and then the same video I upload to my Facebook page, right? Long form content. And so if you don't have a Facebook page, I'm not talking about your personal page. You need to have a business page. So once you have your business idea, or at least your content idea, how you're going to brand yourself online. My piano business is Piano Lesson with Warren. I create a Facebook page named Piano Lesson with Warren. This new venture is Business for Musicians. There's a Facebook page named Business for Musicians. And that's where you're going to post those videos. Now, if you want to post snippets and stuff like that on your own personal page, you can do that as well. But you need to have a business page because that's where you're going to be building your audience as well. So that single video that I shoot goes up to YouTube and to Facebook. Now, for the other platform, TikTok and Instagram, these are short form content platforms. And so the thing now that is crushing it on Instagram is Reels, right? So now we have to create things for that mobile view, right? When we have that mobile view, this is where editing comes in. You have to edit your videos to look the way they look on TikTok. If you pull up Instagram Reels or TikTok, that's sort of, again, mobile vertical view. If you're savvy enough with video editing platform, take the same video and then edit it, and then sort of just crop sections of it in that format. I believe it's 9:1. I don't remember the exact ratios, but you know what I mean. You've seen it before. So that's what I do. I take that videos and then I cut it up into 1 minute segments, 2 minute segments, and I upload those to Reels, Instagram, and to TikTok. And this is what I mean by being specific for the platform, because this will get you in those algorithms. Now, why is it important to be on multiple platforms? Because your ideal viewers and audience, they're everywhere. And everybody have their own specific platforms. Like I know some people only hang out on TikTok. That's their platform. Some people don't even have Facebook accounts anymore, right? And then there's some people who just do Instagram as their primary platform. And then there are people who are more YouTube oriented. And so if you just focus on one platform, you might be missing out. But being on all platforms right away, it's like casting a net, right? Fishing, you cast a wide net, there's a chance of bringing in more people. And so that's why it's important to be on all platforms right out the gate. And this is called content repurposing. So when I shoot one video, that goes to YouTube. It also goes to Facebook. I then cut it up into mobile versions that go up to Instagram, TikTok. Now, YouTube has recently rolled out a new feature called Shorts, which is basically to compete with TikTok and Instagram Reels. So then the same video that I have uploaded to TikTok and Instagram, I upload to YouTube Reels. So this is sort of like a different section of YouTube, not Reels, YouTube Shorts. This is sort of like a different section of YouTube. But again, you have people who are getting on the Shorts bandwagon. And because it's a fairly new feature of YouTube, they're tweaking their algorithm to sort of promote Shorts, right? So you want to be on that train as well. And that's how out of one video shoot, I have content that goes across all different platforms. Now, remember I talked about long form videos are usually between 20 to 30 minutes or more. Typically, my YouTube videos run anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes. But then when I'm cutting them up to create shorts and reels and TikTok videos, out of a 20-minute video, 25-minute video, I can get, 7 to 10 different clips of reels, which means I have videos I can post one a day on these platforms. So I have one a day for TikTok, one a day for Instagram, one a day for YouTube Shorts, because it's the same content, repurposing. And that's how you get into the algorithm even faster, because now you're hitting it daily with these short form videos, right? So I only shoot once a week, and then I have content for the week. So that's how we be visible on all platforms, and that's how we repurpose content. Now let's take a look at step number 5 is to, we just talked about that one, repurpose content for different platforms. So I basically group step 4 and step 5 in my explanation here. So then let's jump down to the last one, and that's step number 6, which is to promote your content to your friends, to different groups and online forums. When I started my YouTube channel, one of the quickest way I started to get views and likes was just from people that are already in my ecosystem. Your Facebook friends and your family, right? These are your close associates. So you may have a couple hundred Facebook friends or a couple thousand friends, colleagues, acquaintances, people you've known from your childhood. Promote your content right there to them. Say, hey, started a new channel about this. Check it out. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and share this with people who you believe might be interested. That's it. And you can do that every now and then, or every time you post a new videos, you can do that as well. I guarantee you, there are already people in your ecosystem that want to hear what you're doing. They're going to want to know what you got going on. And, you started this new venture? Let me give you a like and a subscribe. Because again, that's another way for the algorithm to say, hey, This content's doing okay. It's doing well. Newly created channel, but they have started to get some likes and subscribes and shares. So that's important. Copy that YouTube link if you're doing YouTube. Post it on your Facebook page. If you're doing podcasts, there's different ways to share that podcast as well. Whatever you're doing, start with the people that are already in your ecosystem. Now, I mentioned online groups. This is a great way to connect with people outside of your ecosystem. And this is Facebook. Facebook groups are very powerful. So, for example, if you're a drummer and you're doing drum lessons, go on YouTube, go on Facebook and search for drum players or drum groups or drumming teachers. There are going to be different groups under different titles of name, but most likely they're going to have the word drums or drummer in it. Join those groups. When you join those groups, it's important to then give value right away. What some people do is join groups and then they start to spam the groups, promoting their own content. That's the quickest way to get kicked out of groups and banned and blocked. And also, people don't take you seriously if you spam. You know, have you received those emails from random people that you don't know trying to sell you something? Spam emails, or you get spam calls, you know, people trying to connect and sell you stuff or telling you to do this, do that, but you don't know who they are. You just delete them right away. You don't even give it a second thought. You don't treat people like that as serious contenders because nobody likes a spammer. So when you join these groups, you're not joining them to spam. You're joining them to give value, answer questions. So when I jump in these groups, piano-related groups, people asking questions about piano lessons, I'm answering them. I'm answering them as if they were my own students, genuinely, without asking for anything in return. Hey man, how do I spell a C7, the C major 7 chord? They post that in the group. You jump in and you comment, hey man, here's how you spell a C major 7 chord. That's it. You don't link to your website. You don't link to your channel, nothing. You're just giving content, because what's going to happen, people are going to start noticing that this person knows a lot. They know what's going on. I like the way they answer questions. So they're going to click on your name, click on your profile, see who you are. And that's where you want to make sure that your profile talks about what you're doing, your YouTube channel if you have one. So now one of the things that I do when I'm interacting in groups is to interact as my business page, not as my personal page. So if I'm interacting in a piano group, I'm interacting as Piano Lesson with Warren, right? So as soon as they click on my name, they're clicking to my business page. They're going to see all your content. They're going to click follow. They're going to like. Now you got a new follower. And that's how you grow your own audience, by giving value in all these other groups. Because you might go into a group and it has 10,000 people in that group already. That's ripe for your picking, because it's a group about what you're teaching of 10,000 people just hanging out. You could potentially get a couple hundred. But again, this is a slow game, because you got to give value, and just continue to give value without promoting yourself. Now, if the owner of the group gives permission for people to promote themselves, you can do that. But it's very important that when you come in these groups, you make sure you're adhering to the rules of the group. And above all, you're giving more than you're expecting to receive. Solving people's problem, answering question. It's one of the most effective way to find a concentrated niche of people that you're gunning for to be your audience. It's in Facebook groups. And as an extension of Facebook groups, online forums, like on Reddit. You know, you can find forums that's talking about the thing you're teaching, whether it's drum lessons, guitar lessons. Find these little hubs, online groups and forums where people are hanging out, and start to give value. Likewise, you can do the same thing on YouTube. One of the first things I did when I started learning about this technique, and I didn't come up with this, I learned it from other people that I follow. I search for all the piano channels, and I look for all the biggest channels, biggest in terms of have the largest subscribers, of people who are doing what I want to do. So my thing is gospel piano. That's what I teach. So I type in gospel piano lessons on YouTube, and all the channels that come up that are doing that, I subscribe to every one of them. 2 reasons. 1, I want to see what they're doing. The best way to learn is to see what your competitors are doing. There's going to be a lot of things you can learn from them. Copy some of them. You're not trying to replicate everything that person does, but there's going to be a lot you're going to see that you didn't know, or you're going to get inspiration from some of the things they're doing that you can then put into your own ideas and thoughts. But then also I comment. When someone posts a comment below the video or ask a question, I jump in and I answer it as if it was my own channel. And again, I'm interacting on this person's page using my own channel. So people see, if they click on my name, it takes them to my channel. But again, you're not there to promote yourself. You're not there to steal people's subscriber by saying, hey man, if you want to learn more about this, come over to my channel. No, you're being genuine. You're being authentic. If someone asks a question, comment. But also, you can just post. So I literally sit and I watch my competitors' videos. And then I'll find something that they mention in like the 4-minute mark. And I say, hey man, I really like how you explained this at the 4-minute mark. Send. So they see that, oh, this person actually watched my video. They check out my profile and see I'm in a similar field as theirs. But then also, their followers who are reading the comments will see that, click away, and become a subscriber of yours. You got to give value. You can't just create a video, put it out into the abyss, and then disappear and hope someone finds it, like it, and share it and grow your channel. That's not how it works. Think about this as a 2-part process. You shoot a video, you upload it, and then you promote yourself. And this is how you promote yourself. Just talk about the different ways. Post those videos on the different platforms to your own Facebook personal page, and then interact. But most importantly, don't forget to be consistent. So if we were to go through the 6 steps again, content creation, you got to start pushing out content. You cannot build an online following without content. That's the name of the game. Step 2, consistency is king. You don't want to be spotty and shoddy. This week you shoot 1 video, then you disappear for a month. You come back, you shoot 2, then you disappear for 3 months. That's not going to work. Content creation has to become a part of what you do. I'm sure you're busy. You may have a day job, you got a family you're raising, you got extracurricular activities. And so you might say, man, I don't have the time. Well, you got to make the time. Do you want this thing or not? Now, the more you put in, the more you get out. So the minimum is one video a week. But if you have the time to do 2-3 videos a week, go for it. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. But at minimum, you need to be posting once a week, every week. If possible, try to hit it the same day. Post the same day so you can start to build a sort of a reputation with the algorithm. Step number 3 is to listen and communicate with your viewers. Once people start to interact with you, you got to jump in and start making things work, connecting with people, being genuine, answering questions and liking and so on. Step number 4, you got to be visible on all platforms. This is 2023. The online game has changed. You can't just pick one place and stay there indefinitely. The people who you want to become your followers, your subscribers, and then eventually your customers, they're everywhere on all platforms. So if you're everywhere, or at least on the 4 top platforms that I mentioned, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you have a higher chance of reaching more people faster. Tip number 5, you got to repurpose content for these different platforms, right? And it's basically just for the short form videos, edit the video so they can be in sort of a mobile view. But even if not, upload them the way they are still, right? The most important thing is that you're there. You're on these other platforms. And lastly, promote your content. You can't just sit and wait. There's an old saying, build it and they'll come. Not true. You have to promote yourself. You have to promote your content, and you're going to do so in a classy and genuine way, not spammy. Don't be inboxing people. Be like, check out my YouTube channel, check out my Facebook page. Don't send people inbox messages, especially if it's someone who you haven't seen since your childhood. Then all of a sudden they get a text from you about a YouTube channel when they haven't heard from you in 10 years. Not cool. And so those are things I learned the hard way, because I did all those things in the early days bad. Someone actually called me out on it, and I was like, yeah, she has a point. That was kind of sleazy. So you post it to your Facebook page, and people who are constantly interacting with your page, they'll see it and they'll click, right? That's the best you can do in terms of promoting there. That's it. That's how you start and quickly grow an online audience. These 6 things that I'm giving you, I wish I knew these things in the first 3-4 years of me doing YouTube videos. I probably would have grown my channel faster, but I didn't know. I learned these things later. I implemented them, and I saw how it impacted my growth. So just start this week. Start putting out content. Don't say, man, I don't have a nice video camera yet. I don't know how to edit. I don't have the space. None of those things matter. My very first videos were crappy. The editing was crappy. I was using like a $50 cheap camera. I looked awkward. My lighting was terrible. I didn't know what I was doing. But the one thing I did know was the content that I was giving was solid. That's all I knew. I can play and I can teach. And those videos, those few videos that I posted in the early days now has hundreds of thousands of views. One of the first one I did was how to play a major scale. Simple video. That's one of my most watched videos to date. But the editing is nothing near what it is today. And so don't put off the stuff because you're waiting for better. You have to start and improve as you go. Improve as you go. As you learn new things, you implement it. But you got to learn along the way. You cannot wait to start building your audience. Nothing matters until you start building an audience. This is how you will eventually be able to transition online and monetize this audience. All right? So thanks again for listening. This is episode 2 of the Business of Musician podcast. Please give me a like, a comment, and subscribe, a rating, review wherever you're watching this, so that we can get in the algorithm and people can start to find this podcast. Right? Bye for now. Have a blessed week, and we'll talk soon.